to Green Eyed Starlet. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Brandy and I'm working to live a life worth living through art, movement, and exploration. So I thought this week we could talk about something that has kind of been a topic of discussion through a lot of my social groups lately, and that is, are we expecting too much of ourselves? And I find it very ironic that I'm making this video on a day where I really do not want to be making a video, and that is not me trying to spread any negativity here. It's literally just me showing my truth and my honesty here. I am on my period, I am super emotional, and I do not want to be here. I've been trying to film this video for like 5-6 hours at this point, I don't even know, and I want to get this video out for you guys because I love you guys so much, and I have made a commitment to not only myself but to you guys to make videos every week, and I think that's really important, and that is a schedule and a thing that has been keeping me on track for a really long time. But I do find it ironic that I am literally sitting here forcing myself to do something that I'm just not feeling. You know, I'm not feeling it. What is it? I have no clue, but I'm not feeling it. So I find it a little ironic that I'm making this video today, and I think it is a good commentary, honestly, on the whole thing. So if the topic of do we expect too much of ourselves sounds interesting to you, then please give this video a big thumbs up because it helps out me and this channel so much, and keep watching. So, like I said, this is a topic of discussion that has been kind of going around in many of my social groups lately, as I am a part of many different social groups. And that's not to sound weird, I don't know if that sounded like a weird flex or whatever the kids are saying these days, but basically I have, you know, like my acting community that I'm a part of, I have, you know, a YouTube community that I'm a part of, a yoga community that I'm a part of. I'm a part of many little communities, and I find that very valuable as it makes up the human that I am, and I really appreciate what each community brings to my life, I guess. Because I think a wide branching thing that's happening in every single community right now is that there are so many opportunities out there. And what do I mean by this? Well, basically because the world has gone to complete, I don't even know what, there have been a lot of new opportunities coming out in new ways that we've never even seen before. Like, to be honest, like in the acting world right now, there are so many opportunities for self-tapes and whole entire like agencies doing open call self-tape acceptances. I can't speak, and that's fine. But basically there have been a rampant amount of opportunities in all forms, in all spaces. People are coming up with such cool ways to still connect while we're at home, to still do the work that we do on a daily basis in the regular world or the normal world or whatever you want to call what the past was. But there are so many opportunities out there, and I think it gets a little overwhelming, or maybe a lot overwhelming. I think it's very, very overwhelming of all the opportunities that are out there. Literally the other day I had like 25 tabs open on my computer, which is not uncommon for me. I have a lot of tabs open on a regular basis, but I had like 25 tabs open of different things that I wanted to look into, or I wanted to comment on, or I wanted to email that person about, to not only network but to find new opportunities for myself and, you know, the people around me. Because I do think that this is a great chance to meet people, to change things, to open a dialogue of things that have been wrong for a very long time, or new ways that we can move forward into the next stage of humanity, whatever that may be. That sounded way more spiritual than I meant it to. But yeah, no, I think that there are so many opportunities out there, and this is where do we expect too much of ourselves kind of comes in. Because on one hand, and I'm going to turn to the acting community to start, but lately there has been a huge argument, I guess, discussion, a heated discussion. So like not quite an argument, but not like quite just a discussion, so like a heated discussion about actors right now. Because basically I haven't been putting a ton of, you know, on my acting lately, and I've kind of been questioning that in general, especially since everything in the world has happened. But there are some people who are of the, you know, belief that right now is the time to be working at your craft. There is so much information and opportunities at your fingertips for free or for a very small fee that we should all be taking advantage of and soaking up as much as we can. And then a lot of us are over here as artists, as actors, or whatever we may be. I'm using the acting community, but this can really apply to everyone. But there are all of us over here going, I'm not okay. I haven't been okay since this started. I might not have been okay since before before this started, and now I just feel like I'm being yelled at by not only my peers, who should be, you know, helping you and supporting you through all of this, but it makes me feel bad about myself at the same time, because I'm like, maybe they're right, maybe I'm not working hard enough, maybe I'm not taking enough of these opportunities and turning them into leads or, you know, future jobs or future opportunities. What if I'm gonna get left in the dust? And that's one of those things where I'm like, do we expect too much from ourselves? Because like, I think we can all admit at this point that what's happening in the world is crazy. Like, if you can't admit that, then you may have been under a rock for a while. And if so, probably stay under that rock, because you're probably safer there. But the world is crazy right now, and we're all dealing with this differently. Even me dealing with it at the beginning of this, and me dealing with it currently, and me dealing with it next week are all different people. Like, it's a process, and I say that about everything, but it's true about everything. Everything in life, including life, is a process, and we're constantly working through that. You know, it's really funny because I feel like all the days are just melting together, so it's kind of really hard to realize that I've been here in quarantine for almost 2 months at this point. Like, that is crazy to think about. But I made a video somewhere in the mass of all of these videos that I've been making about productivity versus relaxation. And if you haven't seen that video, I highly suggest that you go check it out. It's kind of got a similar degree of discussion that we're having right now, because I think there's some really valuable things that I discussed in that video that pertain to this video. That's what I wanted to say more. In that video, I talked about how I told so many people, especially at the beginning of all of this, that I wanted to come out of this quarantine. I wanted to come out with something to show for it. Like, I wanted to come out of this whole ordeal and be like, look at my fitness, or look at this book I wrote, or look at, you know, my YouTube channel that I've grown to new heights, or something like that. And while I don't think that's a bad idea, and I'm glad that I had those kind of motivations in the beginning, and I still turn to some of those motivations as I'm going my day-to-day life, because you need motivation. You do. You need something to work towards. You need motivation just in life, in my personal opinion. And in that video I did talk about like things like making your bed can make you feel productive. It's not something super crazy out of your way that you're breaking your mental and spiritual and emotional spirits over, but it can make you feel productive. But at what point have we put too much on our plate? My boyfriend Ben always likes to say that I am a 4-burner stove that I'm trying to cook 8 pots on, and it's just not working. And I think that's a very good representation of how I kind of work and how I kind of run my mental capacity. I mean, that's why I have, you know, 25 tabs open at all times. But I see where he's coming from, because I make these long to-do lists, and I have all these goals that I create for myself, and at the end of the day, I hope and I aspire to attain all of those goals. I don't think that having goals or having a lot of goals is the problem. I think it is forcing myself to think that right now I have to be doing every single one of those at the same time. I think that is the damaging mindset. And I think that comes a little bit from productivity. I think that comes a little bit from, you know, that idea that we always feel like we're too old to start, or we're not old enough to start, or, you know, we look at people who are younger than us that have achieved more than us, and we're like, wow, man, I'm behind. That feeling of we always have to catch up to someone who's further along in their journey than we are. I think that is part of the mindset that makes us feel like we're not doing enough, and that we should expect more from ourselves. And it gets to the point where it's kind of damaging on our psyche, because, like, to be honest, there was a great opportunity in the acting world that just came up this last week, and I had it up since the first day that it came out. I had all of the information up, and I just didn't do it. And I'm not even like sorry that I didn't do it. I'm a little sorry, I guess, because it could have been an amazing, incredible opportunity. It really could have. It could have, you know, opened up so many doors for me. But at the same time, I was just not ready. And I know sometimes, you know, you're not in the mood to do things that you have to do, and you have to force yourself to do them. But I just felt like it wasn't there. I don't know how to explain it. Like, if I tried to get myself to do it, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And I feel the same way, you know, with YouTube or yoga. Like, the yoga community is another great example of this, and that might apply to other communities as well. But some yoga teachers are just not okay with teaching online classes. They're not, you know, either they're not tech savvy enough or feel like they can't, you know, figure out all of the nuances of making that work enough, or they just don't feel a spiritual connection to teaching online videos, which is completely understandable because yoga is like a communicative thing. Like, it's something that you come together with a lot of people to practice yoga if you are a yoga teacher. And they see all these other yoga teachers out there teaching, you know, Instagram lives, Facebook lives, Zoom classes on mass scales, and they're starting to feel like, well, shoot, like, should I be doing that? Like, I feel like I'm staying true to who I am, but, you know, I see all of these people and they're doing so much better than me and stuff like that. It's a little bit of comparison, which we really should talk about in another video, because comparison has actually come up a lot lately in media that I've been kind of consuming and podcasts that I've been talking about. So that's something that we should really talk about, because I am guilty of the whole falling down a comparison trap. I think all of us are at some points in our lives, but it's just one of those things where we're constantly working every single day. And if we were back in the normal world, we would be working, you know, 9 to 5s, coming home, feeding the kids, taking the kids to school, putting them to bed, all of those things. I'm not a parent, but I'm just kind of trying to like create this mindset that we are constantly moving and constantly working, and we expect to be able to do it all. And honestly, to those people out there that are like, yeah, no, I can't do it all, like, and they sacrifice parts of themselves or sacrifice things that society say that, like, no, that's the important thing. You're sacrificing the important thing for the non-important thing. I think those people are so liberating to hear talk, because, like, yes, don't get me wrong, there are certain things that, like, personally, I would not sacrifice for my career or X, Y, or Z. I can't believe I included Y. If you saw last Saturday's video, I excluded Y a lot. But regardless, I think that those people are so liberating because they know what they want. They know that they can't do it all, and they know what their priorities are. And maybe priorities is something that we should talk about in another video too, because I'm not completely sure what my priorities are, to be honest, if we're really talking about it. And if you saw my Am I Okay video, I'm sorry I keep referencing all of these videos, but they're really starting to come together to culminate my psyche and what I'm feeling right now. But in my Am I Okay video, I talked about, you know, redefining who I am, and I think I'm still working on that. I don't think I've made too much headway from that video to here of who am I, and, you know, what of those things are important to me, and I think I need to like really sit down and reflect on those things. But yeah, I think when we decide what our priorities are and what we really want to focus on right here and right now, that can liberate us or give us the freedom to breathe, to be like, I don't have to do that 3-mile long to-do list today. You know, I'm gonna finish that to-do list over the next 6 months or the next year, but I'm going to focus on this one thing right here, right now, because that's what's important to me. So at the end of the day, if you ask me, do we expect too much of ourselves? I think, hell yeah, we definitely expect too much of ourselves. And maybe not the collective, you know, communities of the world, maybe not. But for me, I sure as hell expect way too much of myself, like for sure. And I know that, and I don't know how much of that will change, you know, because I do like the way that I'm ambitious. I really like my ambition. I like the goals that I have for my life, and I know that I can achieve them, but I do wish that I could take some of that pressure off my shoulders, especially on a day-to-day basis. Especially when I'm on my period and I just feel so emotional and like I just want to crawl into bed and cry for at least 2 hours, because, you know, a good 2-hour cry is what we all need sometimes. And that's just the truth. To be completely honest, I have absolutely no idea what I've said in this video, pretty much. Like, I'm sorry if it was a little all over the place, but I want to know from you guys, do you feel like you expect too much of yourself? Or do you think that collectively we all expect too much of ourselves? Please let me know in the comment box down below. Let me know that I'm not alone in this, please. I could use the support. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Sorry it was very rambly, but that's what you get when you don't script things and you have no clue what you're talking about in the first place. So if you guys did like today's video, please, please, please give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you're not already. I post videos every Saturday and Wednesday, sometimes Mondays, still not committing to Mondays, but sometimes Mondays. It's been pretty frequently Mondays, and you don't want to miss out on a single video. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I love you guys so incredibly much. I really truly mean that. Thank you guys for coming and watching my videos. It means the world to me and gives me a little bit of sanity. I hope you guys have a great day, a great week, and I will see you when I see you.